Thank you. We're ready, Ron? We're gonna open up a public hearing first. It says on or about April 17th, 2025, the town of Coatesville, on behalf of the Coatesville Conservancy District, intends to apply to the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs for a grant from the State Community Development Block Grant, wastewater drinking water program. This program is funded by Title I of the Federal Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. These funds are to be used for a community development project that will include the following activities: improvements to the town sewer system. The total amount of CDBG funds to be requested is $700,000. The amount of CDBG funds are proposed to be used for activities that will benefit low and moderate income persons is $357,000. The Coatesville Conservancy District also proposes to expend an estimated $196,600 in non-CDBG funds on the project. These non-CDBG funds will be derived from the following sources: Coatesville Conservancy District funds, operating and depreciation funds. Do we have any questions?
Questions?
Oh.
I don't think we have any questions on Ron.
Guess that's it then. Adjourn the hearing. We'll open up the town council meeting.
Let's open it up.
All right. I want to ask if there's any additions or corrections in the minutes of March 3rd, 2025, if they will be approved as written.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Yes, you. Yes. I think some of the old news, we got our pothole fixed back here behind your building, Jimmy. Looks like it's still that way. Hadn't sank anymore. I think somebody thought it was an old septic tank. Whatever, but anyway, it's gone. We did get the dumpsters moved. They're now in the town parking lot. Thing that will help. I know we put a lot of stuff in there the other day, but had to do what we had to do to clean it up. But anyway, we'll just have to wait and see what the next move is.
Do we need a dumping ordinance? No dumping?
Also, I asked earlier, we can't do anything about it if we see anybody dumping because we have no ordinance for it.
There's,
Right.
The county, we could go by the county.
I know Cork County has a dumping ordinance. I don't know if it fits exactly with the recycle bins.
Littering?
I think,
I mean, that's a minor thing, but
What's that?
littering.
Yeah, state's got litter.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get them on that till we get an ordinance.
Yeah.
If we catch somebody, Eric, if we catch somebody dumping, could they write a ticket on that? If they catch it on camera. I know I seen where Putnam County caught somebody dumping.
okay. So, if we could do anything, I thought, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was Waste Management had something like an ordinance against it.
I
No,
couldn't see Waste Management having any. I mean, they don't care. They just want to pick it up.
it'd be a county
That'd
level.
be a county or state.
County does have an ordinance for dumping, but like I said, I kind of went through it. It didn't really apply to like recycle bins or anything like that, so.
Well, I mean, the dumping is right beside, not right beside the recycle bins. So it puts a big old pile of trash or a mattress right there. We have to get rid of it
Right, exactly, because there's costs associated
because
with
they
it.
dumped it.
Yes. I don't know, I guess the question is, do we need an ordinance if we want to enforce it? I mean,
I believe it should. And if we put a sign up saying that's we got a camera up and
I don't even know, say the camera's up to say that it's illegal to, some sort of sign saying illegal dumping will be prosecuted in
Next
accordance to ordinance number da, 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 da. Yeah,
We should. It's just me. We send it through the town.
well, I worked on drafting the ordinance just in case we want to do one, but. I put it away and you said you don't think we needed one, but. Did we, okay. I can send electronic version out, but I've got. It's all folded up now. I just happen to have an ordinance in my pocket. But I mean, I'm just passing, I can get an electronic copy. It's the starting point. And, you know, that stuff may not be necessarily accurate in there, but I thought at least you have a baseline to start with, so I'll let you all look at it and take it from there. I got, I think 35 cents.
I'm glad he did that. Thank you, Steve.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Okay, one thing, guys. Mill Creek Schools sent this to us. They're gonna have a May 25th and 29th. They're gonna have a staff recognition breakfast. And they want to know if we want to donate money to that. My opinion is no.
not that you can, like when you do the post prom,
No,
but there's a exception like for public safety in
Yeah.
that scenario, but not certain statute. Want me to check on that can, but if your consensus is no,
There it
I
is.
can't go towards, I don't think you can.
I would think this. School is gonna do that, then they ought to take care of themselves.
What are they having for breakfast that day? Shannon.
Maybe they didn't invite us, so that's for sure. So, as far as I'm concerned, whatever y'all want to do.
Yeah, I think the problem kind of ties in with the truck drivers situation and
Bad.
every 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, post prom one is an easier one because you're.
Yeah, and we did that.
Yeah.
Trying to get together. They got a new superintendent coming, so. In my opinion. And if they build that building out back. Yeah. Until they don't have, until they can't use much copy paper, so. We go buy copy paper, that may be a different story. Sold every day, or every time I go to some spot and buy that box of paper.
Mr. Shannon.
Well, it's up to you two. I don't,
I don't see no.
I don't see.
all right, then we
Not that.
will not do that.
You know.
Got a problem that's been there every year, and I think I've talked to Jimmy about it, but. 4836 Milton over here, that we got a box drain that goes underneath of, Milton Street. I called the Hendricks County this morning, but apparently the homeowner is already called a couple of times. And their complaint is the water coming from Brian Stevenson's field, when it gets down to the box drain, it is washing things out. But they don't think that water should come out of that field. That's, so I'm gonna sort of turn that over to, Brian, because there's a chance they could have some legal problems with him. I mean, like on the other end, where it used to come over, all them down to the fire department, all that, that was fixed. That was fixed by us. And it was very, very, very expensive. But as I see it, I don't know the laws about your water running on somebody else. I don't want to get into that. But the young lady who's down here is Tiffany Dalton, was the chief deputy surveyor. And she sent me an email on it. She's telling them what she did. But then I had already had a call in for John Ayers, county engineer, about that box drain. And he did come out and he did look at it. As we talked about it, he's thinking to dig it all up would probably cost more than putting a new box drain in, a new drain. So that's not been decided, but that's where it is right now. He's gonna work on a plan. So there again, let's hope that that goes quick. And the other thing I talked to Jimmy about, you know, in the spring of the year, you always have these problems. And we got it again. There's a lot of field tile that runs out of private property that runs into the town of Coatesville. Now, where all these drains are, I don't know. I can guess. But a lot of them are old drains. Am I right, Jimmy? Some of those that we looked at.
Yes.
And so when them old drains come in and they hit our drains, everything's cool. But once they plug up and the trees get the best of them, then you start getting backwater into people's property. And then I don't think the town of Coatesville can be responsible for those drains coming out of fields. At least, I don't think so, but maybe we are. But I fixed one last year that some people tore up and I fixed it. But man, that would be a big cost, very big cost to try to figure it out. So that's where I stand on it. So Jimmy, I don't know if you know somebody that we can talk to that would have the authority to do something about it.
I'd talk to the NRSC from the government. They can, if nothing else, they can design something.
Years ago, I had an employee that worked for me. He quit and went to work for him. And I told him, and he said it could be fixed. At that particular time, I gave it to the town and it never was followed through, so it didn't happen. But it is a big problem. I mean, especially, but the one coming out in Brian's field, that would not be an easy fix. And there's a lot of water coming through there. But we had a lot of water when we put that in that big concrete box. And everything runs into that and it covers it.
How does that work that it becomes Brian's problem? That water's run there for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying anybody's to blame or it is somebody's problem, but that's the natural flow of water.
I mean, that's why I don't know
Right.
how that works, is the person that lives there is the one that's filed complaints with the county. Again, I'm gonna tell Brian, which I'm sure he already knows because the guy told me so, Brian.
Where's that box that you're talking about? Is it next to the property line or next to the street?
Our box, the one,
Yes.
no, it's on under the street. But Brian's got a field tile out there that one of the stand-ups.
Riser.
It's not big enough or it's plugged up, you know, every time something gets in it.
But
And so all the water just shoots across there. It gets to our box down there before it goes under, you know, how much it is, and it's washing the neighbor's yard out.
has he got a levee?
Uh,
Does he have a levee on one side of that?
no, well, I don't, doesn't look like it to me. I can't believe, it
There's no way.
actually, I can't believe that nobody has said anything because the neighbor across the other side, it's washed his backyard out for years. I mean, it's that much water comes through there. But other deal with the ditches running into Coatesville. I mean, is what it is.
If you're planning on running surface water through a ditch, it needs to be double the size of normal because of,
Well, that was one of the
Wow.
things that this lady said today, that the tile he had in there was not big enough. So
That Brian has in there, or that,
Brian's tile, I guess. Yeah, it's his tile comes out of his field. But there is, when I tell you there's a lot of water coming, you've
oh,
seen,
there's a lot of water comes off my feet
yeah.
and goes underneath Brian's. And dumps out there,
So I just know that,
just natural fall.
yeah. So, you know,
But they can look on the map and they can tell you how many acres is draining that way by looking at maps.
yeah, I think we ran into that once at the sewer plant. But, so I will just tell Brian that that's what's going on and he can deal with it because I don't know what else to do. The only thing,
They have grants for that, for municipalities and stuff to help them.
but if you put that as a big concrete structure like we did on the other end, you know, I mean, that solved everything. That the water doesn't, the other day, it was no water coming across that field. It was all contained. So the money we spent there, it worked, but I can't see us, the town spending any money to
It's also
solve,
going into a big tile.
yeah, big
That
tile.
one is not.
And it needs a big country tile running right in that box drain, but the box drain belongs to Hendricks County. And so that's why John Ayers was out here today. So they need to get the 2 and 2 together. So anyway, that being done, I'll find out from John Ayers, because he did tell me that he's gonna get right on it. But he told me to dig up Milton Street where it's sunk, but he said that would cost more than probably the box drain. So why don't you just tear it all out and do it right? That's where I'd rather do. Teal Lake's water is went underneath of it. When it gets high and it goes right under the drain.
That'd be Everett's water, wouldn't it? He owns that park now. I mean, he never did relinquish it.
No, I mean, no, that's on this end. It's not Everett's.
Oh, okay.
It's the other end.
All right.
Well, it is what it is. And, we'll move on and see what else we can find. Power and light, we had one busy night with that wind. And honestly, I couldn't believe how strong that wind was in certain places. It snapped a lot of big pines right in two, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big ones. And right over here off 75. And that was Jim and I was out and Kobe was out in a downpour with lightning and wind. Thinking there's a power line under this junk somewhere. So I did come back to the shop and get some better lighting, and I did find it. It was live and it was right there under that. That's how people get hurt by not paying attention. But we got it fixed, basically on our part, that's all there was that one. But while we were fixing it, we started testing it and we couldn't get it to test voltage. And like, everybody's wet and upset the world, and all of a sudden you look around and say, there's no lights anywhere. While we were working on one, the whole thing went down. I said, that's enough, but.
They're still praising you on social media though. They're still praising you on social media, which is positive instead of all the.
I did one thing
Let me see
stupid,
this.
and I'll admit I did one thing stupid. I went there and I had my own truck and I knew where it was at, finally found it. And I started around there and I walked real close and I thought, man, you don't want to do that. There's a power line back here. It just hit me. And I backed out and went to the shop and got better lights. I was right there it was. But that's how people get hurt. But anyway, we're lucky. I don't know we're lucky or there's good planning to say maybe.
I think it's good tree management.
It
It is. I mean, they cut trees all the time.
it's
They're
really,
not alive.
we had a lady on Hadley that, yesterday, Johnson's Tree Service cut a big tree out right there. And that was the one that limb fell in, and Terry and I cleaned it up and it bothered her, so she had the whole big tree taken out and it was dangerous. And so if people continue doing that, the strangest one where this happened at these people's house, they just spent several $1,000s having that big tree I told you, giant one. And they just had it cut down and taken away, and then this happened. But it's the way it happens. But I think everything else is, as far as the power and light, looking good. I don't see any other problems. The boxes we put up for the cameras today, I got one more box to work on. I got Jim's got to come in and hook that one up. Because it's on a primary line, I don't want to touch it. So I'll let Jim do it. I'll fix this eye out over here. I'll be done. Gotta be done. Fell out of that thing today.
He's out now, isn't he, for a while?
He's on light duty. I'm thinking about if they'll let him. I think it will. He's got 17 light bulbs to change. That's how many street lights we.
It's considered light duty.
Huh?
That's considered light duty.
Yes. He can't stretch and pull, but got a nice truck, so he can change it. But yeah, he's on light duty. I haven't heard anymore. He's supposed to come in. I haven't heard anymore on how he's doing. He thought he had a torn rotor cuff. And then when they did all the x-rays and the doctor said it's not a torn rotor cuff, it's just a nerve in his neck, a pinched nerve. So he's going through therapy right now. But the new hardware is still working. Work in progress. I did see paving people running around out there today, so I did go in the middle of the night the other night and check out their drainage system. It's working just fine. So maybe something good for them. Okay, Ronnie, you got anything?
No.
No. Eric?
As I said, I finally heard back from
Comcast.
Comcast. They wanted to have a meeting. I gave them times, wasn't available, so I did just email them now. I don't know why we need to have a meeting, but they want to have a meeting, so.
Like I said, it's,
I think it's time they give us some money.
Well, they're trying to shut the contract so we get an agreement on it.
well,
And also, the contractor needs to come back that's been putting in the
yeah,
interduct, because there's several places where the ground's settled.
yeah, it's rain now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw some grass seed down too. I think he just dug it up and threw some straw over it and let it go. Pretty well sure of that.
I know they was in town, they was driving around, pretty sure that was in driving around in Briarwood and pickup looking
It was. They put the string through the conduit. They're pulling that by hand. And they're pulling it up. And they have not pulled up on a pole. Because I've been watching them. If they did get on a pole, I'll cut it. But I did cut one. Oops, never mind. I just removed one.
We want a contract and a check from them, before we do anything.
Yep. And so, well, maybe they'll get back with Eric.
I think the state is trying to change the fee that we can charge. They're trying to lower it, I believe. This legislature, I don't think it's passed yet.
What was that?
The
Yeah, that.
Poll tax.
no, the video fee,
Oh, the video.
franchise fee.
Okay.
It's. I mean, they argued about. I had something like. 2% increase every year, just, like, well, shouldn't we just use the equation and the statute and negotiate it every year? I'm like, you're talking like. 25 bucks, I mean.
50 bucks.
I said, if you're not comfortable with that, then why don't we set it on the consumer price index, so inflation, if it goes up by 6%, then they were stupid to not agree to 2%, so I don't say about that. But a lot of the other stuff is just,
Like I said, I'm sure that, I don't know if they're in a hurry or.
They're no worry.
nah.
For a while, they started like they were, but the guy told me, when I asked him, I said, in my opinion, why don't you just go underground in the whole town? Do it all. He said, we can't afford to. Why, what do you mean? He said, no, it's a lot cheaper to go overhead.
It is faster and cheaper.
So,
Just don't
But
quite fix things in the storm.
if they want the poles replaced, that's a different story.
Yeah, but they get a grant for that, I thought.
Well, yeah, so far,
Yeah.
they're spending money. We're getting taken away with it, but it's federal money that's all.
Anyway. Maybe something will happen by next month.
I think they're ready to.
Well, I'll get a hold of ISC and see if they raise their prices on anything because they said X amount of dollars to do this, this and this. I better get a hold of them because they may more likely things to change.
Okay. The siren does work. And it worked in the storm.
Will not work if it's below a freezing point. So I think that's the issue we were having when the people were saying it wasn't working on Friday.
Yeah.
If it's cold, they don't set it off.
Yeah, I like the,
Tornadoes when it's freezing.
What's that?
There's no tornadoes when it's freezing.
That's exactly right. That's
not so
exactly
far.
right.
Yeah.
well, I can hear it now. I'm hard hearing
It
it, but
sounds
when it
really
goes
good.
around,
Yeah, I can hear it night before.
you can
I
hear
can
it.
hear it at my house.
I couldn't hear it.
I sustained it
4 miles
didn't
that
go
way.
off 30 minutes after everything was done, but I wasn't in town. I don't know what
Yeah,
it is.
it seemed
Versus.
the storm was it was still going on. They didn't totally.
Part of that is
Actually, the big stuff.
this is that
That seemed.
are inundated calls. Trying to take care of the radio that comes and to get over there and set them off too.
46 pending when we were taking.
It's one of the things when you're out, I don't have to do it anymore because Ronnie takes care of it. I used to, when I was out trying to work. Cell phones, just one after another, it's the same thing. I know, I know it's out. How long is it gonna take you to fix it? I don't even know that either.
Oh, I'm done.
Just, so, but it is. Ronnie takes care of that now and takes care of the calls off of it, and I don't have to worry about it. But long story short, the other morning we worked till midnight. I don't know what time I got done. And at 5:56, I get a phone call from a lady that lives over there, and she had been outside trying to get that limb out of the street. you know, that,
Oh, Rita?
yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, I just can't do it. I just can't. I said, leave it there. You know, I said, I'm gonna be up in a few minutes and Terry and I went down and then she called me again. She says, I just can't believe you cut that up and hauled it away for me. Well, that's our job. So, but
She's nice lady.
yes, it is nice when you get thanks for doing something for people, but she's very good. But anything else?
Is, going over that ordinance, you think it's, or you wanna draw one up?
No, I'll use most of this.
I mean, it's just a baseline to start with. You
Yeah,
can
okay.
Just email
embellish
to
it as much
me.
as you want.
I mean, everything I've seen in it so far looks fine,
Yeah.
but might add a little bit to it, but.
Yeah.
You can cite under, litter, which is a class B infraction.
Okay.
But that's about the only thing I think you can cite under right now is littering.
Yeah.
So that would go to the state though.
Correct, yeah, so you just would file it, cite it,
Yeah.
and then, I mean, it goes
I
to.
like the camera idea where you put them on Facebook.
Well, can we set
We can get something.
the fee of what we
Correct, we can be
impose?
above, yeah, the ordinance can be higher than. The infraction, because under the infraction portion goes to the state and only a small that comes back. Yeah, so you can, it's a person who recklessly, knowingly, or intentionally places or leaves refuse on property of another person, except in a container provided for, commits littering class B infraction.
See, that was a big thing that we moved to cans. Now they're on town property. Before, they were not on town property. So they weren't dumping trash on town property, they was dumping it on Keevan's property.
Right, so he would have had to been the one that,
And when that
I
mattress.
mean, he could have called you and asked you to do.
Well, he was real nice about it, so. I don't want to tell you. Anyway, I took care of the mattress and a few other things. I found out how to open that door on. So. Stuff right in there.
Yeah, and they can lock those if they choose to.
Well, those people wouldn't do that to us. Because they really want to leave them cans here. I would.
Well, they're doing the same thing essentially by butting them up to each other. So,
You know, it's like Lisbon's got the best thing going here, open 3 days a week. They have fenced in area and they have people working.
Compound up there.
Mhm.
Except you gotta sort everything.
Yes,
yeah.
they do not take toothpicks, facial tissue, or the whole list of stuff. I said, you're gonna look at all this stuff?
Wow.
I got a few things. Update on the cameras, they'll start the install on Monday, 14th.
Hope I get done by then.
And then, Steve and I are up to date on our minimum state requirement training for 2025.
But you gotta do that every year.
Every year.
And then I've got the first quarter report. Patrol hours were 291.7, training hours 27, traffic stops were at 17, and calls for service were 33, and arrest or immediate detention was at 1.
Good. Good. Well. I think everything has been sort of getting ready, you know, the weather's still ugly and cold. Been a little. I've talked to our engineer just an hour ago. And I should find out a little bit more about our signs for the highway. Which I think I mentioned it before, that from 3,000 went up to 8,000, so. We'll have to, he's supposed to be getting that all ready for me. He's a very busy man. Yes, sir.
So, I submitted my plan to you, so you guys were gonna talk to see what you guys were gonna do about the property. Either are we gonna work a deal out, or are you guys gonna sell it?
What our attorney brought up, in which I agree, it's a very small piece of property.
Yeah.
It's just about a pie.
Yeah, triangle.
And The only thing I would like to see, and it could be done. Eric says we're better off if we sell it.
We're talking about right over there. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that way it's yours.
I mean, I still maintain it. I mean, you guys
Yeah,
don't.
but I mean,
I mean,
it's all yours. We wouldn't have anything to do with it. The only thing I would want is, those, concrete blocks you got in the round back.
Yep.
I'd like to have those right along that curve of that trail.
yeah, that's fine.
But as far as I'm concerned, it's good to go.
Because that's the only thing that's holding me up, because we gotta submit our plans to the county and then we're waiting on you guys to order the equipment.
As far as I'm concerned, do you agree with it?
Yeah.
You agree with it?
Fine, yes.
And it's agreed upon.
And then you guys tell me a number, I'll cut you a check and
Ronnie, what would you,
500,000.
So, yeah, we need to. Have the appraisal? Yeah, appraisal. Which seems ridiculous, but I don't think we have an exception.
I think you will pay more for appraisal than the property is worth. But
true,
But
We have to break it, it's not worth nothing. It's worth the
Property
game.
tax record with her,
Or
pensions go by the property tax record.
it would, with the actual that little piece.
No, that would be assessed value of it. Did you go by that for selling?
People scout property, it's an assessment.
Never mind.
It'll be not in the county, does it?
I mean, I can pay for the appraisal and sign off the property, if that's easier,
that'd be easier.
because appraisal will cost more than,
Oh, yeah,
if you guys wanna work out a deal.
it's whatever Eric says, the attorney,
I'm trying to see if there's.
Yeah.
an exception.
How's it going with the county?
They're waiting on you guys.
No, they always tell you that. They always tell you that.
No, like,
Don't believe what you're.
Because they want something in writing before they actually give a thumbs up. They
Yeah.
want
Yeah,
either we get
it's true.
right to the property or vice versa. I mean, I basically really didn't wanna buy it. I just wanted use of it. It was a mutual agreement.
and the attorney says, just sell it to him, that way.
I mean, before I did bring it up, you guys said it was leased out to someone.
No, well,
No,
the
no, no.
trail. The trail is leased out.
Yeah, I don't wanna have anything to do with it anyways.
I did notify the trail what was going on, so they do know. And they haven't, as of yet, said anything negative. But
We're really not gonna do anything on that property. We just need it for the tankers to get it back up,
Yep.
but. At the same time,
You do, I mean, it'll be your property, we don't care.
yeah, even now, you guys don't do anything. Even when you guys plow, you guys leave that parcel.
well, yeah, we want to make sure you get plenty of snow.
So like, if someone gets hurt, I'm like, it still comes back to me, but.
But I think the best thing really is you take the property. You can pay the appraisal fee.
Check him real quick.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if town will end up paying the appraisal fee, then I'll just pay the whatever it comes for,
Whatever.
but it doesn't matter.
The legal paperwork on this thing is a lot, yeah, it's a lot more than the property.
Have last bingo.
Yes.
Bingo was a beautiful thing.
About 71 people,
72 winners.
72 winners.
72 winners.
Somebody doubled up?
Yes, a couple times. Yeah,
Yeah,
And done until October.
Some of them had 2 wins on 1 card.
she done it twice, 2 times.
and the gifts are not junk. There's some real nice stuff in there.
My grandkids are more excited about the man that gives them popcorn.
Jerry's famous popcorn.
Yeah, at the very end, when they get out, we got some left, and I think, give these little kids some popcorn. And we're thinking about, a couple of us have come up with this crazy idea at the car show. That one person's gonna dress up in this uniform with a big box on front popcorn. It's not me.
No, first I've heard of this.
Well, we
Have
just
you-
brought it up.
Have you been measured yet?
Huh?
Have you been measured yet? We want it to this.
Pop sticker.
Jerry,
Help me out.
popcorn.
Can verify, we did discuss that.
Maybe it's Jerry's famous popcorn on.
Yeah, and just walk around.
I think we can
Yes.
I think we can do away without needing an appraisal. We have to still, so it says, if we make a determination that the property, let's see, that the highest and best use of the track is sale to an abutting landowner. The cost to the public of maintaining the track equals or exceeds the fair market value of the track, or it is economically unjustifiable to sell the track under section 4, which is the appraisal process. That then last time it was assessed.
It probably never was.
Okay.
No, because that was railroad property.
Yeah, I think we just need to, I'll need to read through this statute and then figure out how we have to publish it essentially to do it. And then I think after that, then you can, as long as no other party submits an offer to buy it, then we'll proceed.
That's fine. I mean, it doesn't matter.
I think it's good.
Another thing is that they want, the county wants the Milton Street, the parking on side of the building to be designated public space.
Oh, how did I know that was coming?
And that was one of their requirements.
What was that?
I'll be on Milton Street, parking,
On my side of the building.
yeah, this way.
No parking.
No, they wanted designated spaces.
Oh, they want designated space for parking.
I told them, I was like, small town, people park anywhere, but they,
They're all time.
You got a parallel
It
parking,
really
that's all.
already is minus the street fee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter if it's parallel or diagonal.
he does
Park,
some striping.
That's easy enough.
Yeah, that's no problem.
I think that's the only thing they want.
Well, I would say they probably want all this in writing, the county.
Yep, they do.
You wanna drag it up for, get it, Eric?
For the purchase or for the other part?
Both.
Both of them.
If you give me something in writing, you guys could take your time, go through all the statutes, at least it will give me a way.
You're ahead of game.
Yeah, it will give me a way with the engineer.
Yeah, I've just gotta figure out how long we have to submit this for bid.
There's nobody bid on it. What did he?
I think it's. So then.
The only people have a chance to buy it is, does their property have to abut to it or?
No, but if, it's a land statute. No, you have to publish it.
I'll probably be good on it, 'cause I've always wanted property that I can't use.
But it has to be published, so if somebody
It has
comes
to be
in,
published, but then, it's really just essentially abutting landowners. So are there any other abutting landowners?
It's just me.
This year, so I mean, I think we're gonna be fine, like. I think we just need a finding today, so if we had a finding at.
She puts to us.
that the town, the council believes the highest and best use of the track is sale to anybody owner. And it's economically unjustifiable to sell the track with having to get the appraisals and all that. Then I think we could start this process. So it's that the census of the council.
I'll make a motion to
I'll second.
start it. Getting
Start the
started.
process of getting anybody landowner.
Yes.
Interesting.
Pretty much. Pay more taxes.
You made anybody mad?
Huh?
You made anybody mad, Coach?
I think I made everyone. It's just the man who it is.
Okay.
Anything you want to email to me, then I'll make sure Jay gets it.
Yeah.
Do that.
I emailed the statute. Just now, so I can, it'll be in the inbox. And I can
Good.
figure out exactly how.
Gets it ready to print.
Yeah, exactly. I can read it on my screen instead of on that.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you're gonna email me.
I can send you I can send you an email version of that.
You don't want to give the butt copy?
Oh, I don't care, but I mean, I guess I can just scan it in.
He just has to read.
That way you can do whatever you want to with it. It's just I think it's just in a word.
Carry it around.
No, on this ordinance thing, if we do that, I think we make that fine extremely steep.
Yeah.
So if some dirtbag dumps trash out there, it hurts him.
The Hendricks County one, I think was like $2,500. Now I kind of formulated that a little bit after that, but not quite, like first
Yeah.
occurrence. I mean, we can always do a warning, but first occurrence would be $250. And then each occurrence will go up to, or next second one will be 500, 750 with a cap of 2,500. But I mean, you guys, that's,
Have to wait.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's just what I,
Charge $2,500.
yeah, I mean, you guys decide what you want to do. I just gave you a baseline to work with.
I agree with that.
Break it off.
They hire somebody, take your trash off.
Well, true.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta show that they're the ones actually. I agree.
Yes,
Yeah, have to get them on camera.
Camera.
license plates.
Somebody's names on there on the box. That wouldn't work.
That worked.
Yeah.
You do. Like you take my trash down there and dump it, you shows up at your house, wants $2,500 check.
Money we got in the camera system.
How would you prove that this dirtbag dumped trash and didn't?
Like the guy. Yeah, the
I
camera.
think you ought to post a sign there that just says violation of ordinance. If we're gonna put an ordinance in place, just violation of ordinance. You can go to the town website and read the ordinance and
That's no illegal dumping with reference to the ordinance number.
You need to know, people need to know them cameras.
There's a sign there now that shows fine of so much money. What are they basing that on?
That's
Is that
the,
a county?
I think that is the county, like the.
Yeah, 'cause I knew there's something in there.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, I can go down there and post sometime while I'm through there and start putting it on social media, so about that.
Oh, his speed. Anyway, anything else?
Two quick things.
Yes.
I'm still working on the website. I've bit off quite a bit there, not more than I can chew, but it's taking a little bit of time. Hopefully this time next month, I can put it in a test environment and recruit some folks to go out there and start testing on it and just see how it works. Make sure there's no bugs in it before we roll it out to everybody. The second part that we're doing with the Historical Society, which I may need everybody's help in here, or at least the majority of people in here, is we're going to do a time capsule. We're gonna bury it down at the cemetery by the flagpole. Already
You
cleared
over
that, cleared that with Mark.
If you bury me, it's gotta be a big camp.
But we're gonna set it for 50 years. We were originally gonna do it longer, but that way some of our kids or grandkids here today can be there 50 years from now when it's brought back up. And, so anyhow, that's something we're working on with the Historical Society. So, we'll see how it works. Make sure there's no bugs in it before we roll it out to everybody. The second piece part, that we're doing with the Historical Society, which I may need everybody's help in here, is we're going to do a time capsule. We're going to bury it down at the cemetery by the flagpole. Already cleared that, with Mark. But we're gonna set it maybe Jerry will write a letter or something to the future president of the town council, or I know he doesn't want to write anything, but stuff like that.
81 years old. You know, lots
See,
of luck.
a funny story is that my buddy that I grew up with, his dad was head of state police in Arizona, and they built a new building. They put a time capsule in the corner of the building. Well, he's since passed on. His son went to Phoenix, was Phoenix PD, Tempe police chief. Then he ended up taking his dad's position for state police, head of state police, and they dug up the time capsule, and he was the one to open it. And there was a letter from his dad directed to the new head of police, state police, which him, and
Yeah.
it was just interesting to hear the letter, saying like, yeah, it was really interesting. We wouldn't have known he was writing a letter to his son. It was only 25 years in the future, but do something like that. I mean, try to keep it going and have
How
them.
big is it?
I don't know yet. It's going to depend on, it's going to be stainless steel. It'll be sealed. They have different sizes, like a small, medium, large. I have to look to see what their cubic feet. We don't need anything huge, but depends on what we're going to put in it.
Gonna put it up by the flagpole?
Yes.
That's,
Mark will tell us where. We'll get a plaque to put over the top of it, a flat plaque they come over. So it'll say, what it is, when it was buried, when it's to be opened.
yeah.
Because I think, being a historic society, it'd be nice to have had somebody that's done that in the past for us to be opening, around this point in time. But, there wasn't. And, be kind of, and we want to stay away from like electronic type meeting because we don't know what electronic, is a thumb drive going to exist 50 years from now? Probably not. Everything will have to be put into archival envelopes and paper. So if anything disintegrates, it doesn't contaminate the entire capsule. There's things we have to go by on that, but anyhow, it's kind of more of a heads up, but we're going to be looking for help with that. If anybody wants to participate in it,
Put a container of air in 2025.
It's going to be interesting for people to kind of hear, how things were working around, the year 2025, how the Coatesville was, and this is what I did for Power and Light, like he wrote one, or your town clerk for X number of years.
Put Jay's gas station in there.
Jay will still be working on pumps.
Still on it.
So, anything else?
You, sir.
I think we got it all. I'll get out tomorrow and put that eye on that light, and I'll be done. Big Jim.
He's taking care of all expenses for that property, even the legal. Why should we pay for your legal work?
It's not my legal work.
Yes, it is your legal work, because we don't care if you have it or not.
It's still
It's
legal
nothing.
work.
It's nothing to us.
Listen,
You came in here wanting to property.
I came in here to ask for the rights because it was a mutual agreement. Because you guys, in order to use that property, you gotta use my property. Everyone knows that. And because otherwise, I really don't need that parcel. To be honest.
Well, why are you asking for it then?
I'm just asking for rights as a mutual agreement. If you guys give me the rights, just because county just making an issue.
Yeah.
Because the county doesn't want the tanker coming at 1 in the afternoon and blocking the parking spaces. That's the only reason they want it. Otherwise, it was just a mutual agreement. Because I already had dropped the idea the last time Chris brought it up that it was leased out.
Yeah.
So I told the county that, and they were like, just get it in writing that you guys could use it mutually because in order for your people to use it, they gotta come on my property.
Yeah. But
And then, that was the only reason I needed it.
if there's an accident on our property, we're responsible. It's on us.
Technically,
Yeah, no.
they come to me.
Yeah.
But no one knows that. That's the
We
thing.
can't go by that, nobody knows that.
No, but that's the thing. No one knows that you guys own the property.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's butted next to me.
Yeah, now, someone's hurt on that property. Everybody that's close to that property is gonna get sued. You know as well as I do how people do. They sue anybody and everybody. And they go for the one with the deepest pockets. And who's gonna get hit hardest? It'll be the town.
I get hit on it. Even if
And you
someone
get-
has a flat tire, they come to me about it.
But Eric's fee's not gonna be that much. I just don't think the town should be paying for that. especially when,
I mean, I could get my lawyer to draw it up if he just want a purchase agreement, I could get that done. But then at the end of the day, it's up to Eric how he wants to do the statute. I could get purchase agreement made.
Well, I mean, the problem is, purchase agreement does nothing, will comply with the statute.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, the
I mean,
legal work, I
generally-
can't really do the legal work because technically.
oh yeah, I understand that.
It's
generally the statute says, if you're doing this type of thing, I mean, the cost of it goes to, essentially, if you're doing it this way, the cost goes to the buyer, and it's not gonna be very much, it's gonna be according to deed, gonna be, if we have to notify any other property, and then.
Yeah.
Essentially the ordinance, my guess is you're talking probably. Maybe. $500-600 total, so I mean.
no, that's fine. I mean, I even said
No, it's
it.
not gonna cost millions to.
No, like even the appraisal, I was like, I'm willing to pay for the appraisal because I know the property.
You get $500 or $600, that's a good,
No, I mean, it's just that, it's just, I don't wanna create a burden on you guys, like, or where it's like. If it's really hard, I really don't.
No, suggestion, just sell you the property and then it's yours. That way we want it. We want it.
I mean, you said your price, I just had
Yeah.
to go into it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's not really a big difference.
You agree to pay the, I have no problem with it. If they pay the legal expense, it's not gonna be that much. It shouldn't be that much here, Derek.
It should be
Yes, I mean, he's not gonna cost
2
you.
hours or less.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I really don't.
but I would like the concrete blocks up there. Just keep people from running over top of that curb. That way the trail would be happy. Is that okay?
So I could run it by the engineer to see if it,
Yep, do it. We just. Put them in set.
Probably $500-600.
We just don't want. Hit that
Okay.
curb and get somebody get on that trail and then you and I both be in trouble.
I mean, once it's mine and then it's technically,
Are you good with the $500-600?
yeah, that's
I
fine.
mean, it's,
Technically, then it will be my liability, even if.
Yep.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be your property. I mean,
Yeah.
Yours, all yours. Oh, my God.
and you don't want us going back, so we change our mind.
Because
So-
also they want
complain,
us to
yeah.
put a fence in the back. They want us to fence the whole on Bank Street. So if we do fence it, they want the trash can fenced in, they want the units fenced in or something. And I'm still trying to buy the trailer, they won't sell it, so.
Lots of luck.
They won't, they did approach me, he was like, do 99-year lease. I was like, why would I do a lease? Like,
For the trailer?
yeah, he said, if you want to lease it, that's a possibility. But I was like, why would I want to lease something for 99 years?
How much do they want to lease it for? I mean, I'm just curious. I don't know.
No. clue. I'd rather just buy it and just demo it.
That's true, yeah.
One of the sisters, whoever owns the
Oh,
property,
the sister?
the guy that owned it died and he gave it to his sister. She lives out in Plainfield. Her sons are always up here.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. They can be a pain.
Just hold out and get rid of the bench.
I mean,
Yeah. So what, I mean, nobody keeps it forever. Once the kids get a hold of it.
For some reason, they don't believe in selling.
I mean, the property will become worthless once the gas station, no one wants to live next to beaming lights pointing right in their direction.
Because they was the ones holding up on the sale of his house.
Yeah. Yeah, they made an ass out of themselves.
One of them run for political office. Time. The youngest.
Just drop Harold was.
The older one I had to deal with.
Yeah.
Fire department.
Yeah.
Let's call it.
Yes. Eric, he's going.